Well, in what's been an extraordinary week, where, as I said, we have seen what must surely have been the most watched Christian service in the whole of human history. Let's go to the political editor of Express Online. I say it every time, but David Maddox is well worth the read. His insights are spot on because he knows the people who count. You can read David Maddox at express.co.uk, express.co.uk, and he joins me. David, I made reference to Joe Biden and some of these world leaders. They're seating at the funeral in Westminster Abbey and then waiting 20 minutes for the buses afterwards. Biden in the 14th row behind the Polish president because protocol demands that Commonwealth leaders have priority. David, how's all this gone down?
There's been some wry amusement on this side of the Atlantic, at least, about it. Actually, especially as things have developed this week, because, of course, the UN General Assembly is happening as we speak. And Liz Truss is over in New York. She's actually meeting Biden today. So there's been some toing and froing between them already. Biden doesn't like Liz Truss's tax-cutting economics. No. I have to say I like Liz Truss's tax-cutting economics on the personal side, but as do a lot of people. And of course, there's a big spat over Brexit. So, maybe his positioning at the big funeral was a subtle hint to him. That,
one can only wonder, though. One can only wonder, though, what the printed word, which is attributed to Biden, is really Biden's words. I mean, I imagine when he meets Liz Truss, he'd have absolutely nothing to say. I mean, the bloke's sort of cognitively in decline. But just come back to him in a minute. As that funeral procession made its way, I want to ask you this to Wellington Arch, which, as my old man would say, was a bloody long walk for 73-year-old King Charles and others, eh? The foreign dignitaries and senior politicians had to wait for half an hour to allow the full military ceremony to pass before they were allowed to catch the bus. I mean, you can only speculate what some of these people, because they all have egos and they think they're the most important person in the Abbey. But this was agreed to by the Queen along with others. She had oversight of all the details, didn't she?
She certainly did. And, let's put it this way. There was only one important person there, and it was the one in the coffin.
That's correct. And, that's absolutely right.
And that was the... in fact, my colleague Dan Falvey and I wrote about this. In some ways, it put the other world leaders in their place. I mean, after 70 years and a few days on the throne, I mean, I guess that was the least she deserved.
Absolutely. So. But I mean, Biden and his wife, Jill, they arrived late. I mean, that's inexcusable. Then they had to wait at the entrance to the Abbey, and he said, they got caught up in the traffic at Oxford Street. Come on, shunted to the 14th row. I mean, some of these people with big opinions of themselves wouldn't have enjoyed being bussed from Royal Hospital, Chelsea to Westminster Abbey. He got there in a presidential limousine. But Donald Trump didn't miss. He claimed that the lowly seat at the funeral was a reflection of how far America has fallen in the last 2 years since the Democrat administration entered the White House. I think, David, he's got a bit of a point, doesn't he?
I would struggle to disagree with Donald on that one. I have to say, he's. I actually, weirdly, I think this dates back to the Afghanistan debacle. I'm not sure that. I'm not sure we quite appreciate yet how much damage that's done to Western reputation, but particularly to America standing in the world. And. And the Biden administration has never recovered from that. And, of course, now they've got an even worse economic problem than we have. So
absolutely.
It's absolutely. I mean, I don't see it surviving. I don't see it surviving beyond 2024.
No.